Just keeps getting worse. Stay tuned. So I just had kind of a unique experience, let's just say. So I went to an Alpha Romeo, uh, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram dealer, the whole family, and I was going to test drive the Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio to see if I would want to potentially lease that vehicle. And I pull up there. I had prearranged this test drive with the salesman, and I pull up there, and there's another gentleman in the parking lot, which is fine. You know, he's trying to get leads and so on, just doing his job. No problem with that. And I couldn't remember the salesperson's name who I was working with. And this guy comes up and he grabs me and he's like, "Hey, you know, what can I help you with?" And seemed nice and normal. And then I told him what I was there to do, and I was meeting somebody else. And he grabs, you know, tries to get me to come into his office and stuff anyway. So I go in there and I sit down. And the person that I was supposed to be working with was there with the license plate and keys and everything ready to go for me, which was great, right? And this guy proceeds to go completely crazy. Like, he is screaming at the top of his lungs going, "This ain't fair. This is BS. Y'all mother effers are feeding this mother effer." And he was saying the N-word and all sorts of like, just went completely insane. And proceeds to do all this, and I'm just standing there, and they have some customers in the building, and we're all kind of standing around, and this guy just keeps losing it, and he starts screaming, I'm starving over here, and y'all mother effers are feeding this mother effer. This is some bullshit." And just like completely just lost it. And this went on for a couple of minutes, and I finally said, I was like, "Hey, is this how you all behave as far as a professional manner goes? Like, how is this acceptable? You know, why haven't you done anything about this?" And they were like, "Oh, that guy, man, he's kind of a problem, you know." And this gentleman claimed to have been a salesman, the one who's flipping out, for like 15, 20 years or something. So what that leads me to believe is, yes, he should not have behaved that way in the slightest, right? But I think that if he were selling a bunch of cars and making a ton of money, he would not have went completely insane and done all of that. Like, what the hell? Who does that? And other dealers are kind of saying the same stuff. They're like, "Look, you're giving us a bunch of expensive products that we can't move, and nobody's buying it, and they're all breaking down," and so on. Right? Like, look at this, right? Jeep 4-door Sierra. Even the base MSRP, $50,000 bucks. And now you're, you know, almost $60,000, 57,570 for like a just super basic Jeep Sierra that would have cost you, you know, 25, 30 grand 4 or 5 years ago. And now it's $60,000. And if this gentleman is, you know, kind of what he claims to be, as a seasoned salesman, he would know that. And obviously they're going to be struggling, right? What lifelong Jeep customer is going to pay that kind of money? And this is the same thing here, right? So this is a V6 Ram, 4x4, bighorn, cloth seats, you name it. And we're at $56,260 for a very basic, you know, V6 pickup that okay, great. Yeah, it's a Ram with a V6 and it's $60,000. So why would you spend that kind of money? I mean, that's just wild. So what do you all think about this? I tried to keep my composure here, You know, I kind of wanted to get up into the guy's face just for pulling that shit and making everybody uncomfortable and acting like a bully. But I restrained myself, right? Because I'm a professional and I'm an adult. And yes, times are tough for a lot of people, but you don't need to take it out on other folks like that. And keep in mind, the salesman that I was working with was great. And he was a 8-year Army veteran, combat vet, you know, with visible wounds that he received in Afghanistan. And he's just trying to get by. And I told him, I just said, hey man, you deserve better than this. If your management is not going to stick up for you and you have to deal with like harassment types of situations like that and people just, you know, going completely nuts, I I wouldn't work here. Like if I were you, I would just leave. And I think that you're going to start to see more and more of this crap, right? I'm sure you already are, but you're just not hearing about it. That's not cool, man. I don't know. Put in the comments what you all think. Would you like try to report it to a corporate entity or some type of higher up? You know, I've thought about doing that, and but that's the thing. Like, I don't want to kick someone when they're down, but people need to understand that, you know, just because you're not doing so hot, you don't need to go completely nuts and take out all your aggression on other people who didn't ask for any of that, right? If they had an issue, they needed to go to their management and go, hey man, you guys need to incentivize some sales here. We're starving, you know, we're not making money, and you got to do something to help us out, you know, throw some money on the hood, do some more advertising, financing, etc. You can always sell a car. I don't care what anybody says. In any type of market, you can always sell a car. You just have to be aggressive enough, and you have to be smart enough, and you know, capable of having a person-to-person interaction professionally. And that's the last thing that happened today. Is like that's just wild, man. I'm still shocked that this all took place. And needless to say, I'm not going to be leasing that Alfa Romeo now. So, all right. Thanks for watching, folks. We'll see you.